than any other person in the history of the NCAA. John leaves St. John's in his retirement as the winningest coach in the history of college football. He has coached more games and has more years of service than anybody else. And on behalf of St. John's, we just want to thank John for choosing to spend his career at this great university.
And the floor is now open for questions.
Coach, why now?
Why not? You know, a couple of Thanksgivings ago, a few things, I don't know, maybe, might have been 20 years ago, might have been last year, I don't know. But I was thinking, boy, I got a lot to be thankful for. And I put a list on my computer, which I looked for today, I couldn't find it. But there are a lot of things that I have to be very, very grateful for. Number one is my family, my wife, that I punted my coverage completely and got such a great gal and a great kids and great family, great grandkids. God, I got 3 grandkids on my team right now. I hate to leave that. So there's so many things to be grateful for. Great job, reasonably good health. So, and winning, a lot of things. And I feel the same way. Lately, we haven't won quite as the pace we were winning, but I just have to be grateful for the pace that we did win for a long time. And sometimes, if somebody that 20 years ago said to me, well, you know, in the next 20 years, something like you're going to win X number of games, or you're going to beat Gustavus. I don't know exactly the number, like 22 out of the next 23 times. You're going to beat St. Thomas like 12 straight times, or you know, all these kind of things. I wouldn't have believed it, and I take it and was grateful for it. It happened and it's gone, and it's like a lot of good memories. Like my wedding day, it's just a pleasant memory. Is that all?
Coach,
Questions?
after
That's
you make a
good.
decision, after you make a decision like this, do you have second thoughts?
I have No, I haven't got any second. I got a lot of fifth and sixth thoughts, all kinds of thoughts. Of course, I can't believe anybody leaves anything without having some thoughts, one way or the other. I'm sure I'll have some regrets. I've left jobs before, not too many, but like the last real good job I had was at Carroll College, where I was the only coach. Coached every sport, particularly football and basketball, and we were winning championships and everything. So much so in basketball, believe it or not, we beat Gonzaga, who was the kingpin of the world then, and we knocked them off. And I hated to leave that job. And when I came here, I don't think I didn't oftentimes think, God, why the heck did I ever leave there? But as I tell my kids, I hadn't met their mother yet, and if I had stayed in Carroll, they'd have had a different father, so. That's one of the reasons I came.
Everybody else talks about the legacy. Do you think of yourself?
First you have to tell me what that means. The legacy, what does that mean? Can you tell me?
What will you be remembered for?
I'll be remembered for some jerk that was there for a few years. They won't remember me because, believe it or not, Johnny Blood was my predecessor. If you ask anybody, hardly anybody in the room knows who the heck is Johnny Blood. Johnny Blood was a charter member of the Football Hall of Fame. I remember when I came here to interview for the job. By the way, St. John's didn't have any search committee in those days. They sent for me. They knew about me. They called me in here for an interview to see what was going on. And after the interview, they said, well, that's great, but can you beat Gustavus and St. Thomas? I said, well, I don't know. I had never heard of them, so I lied like heck and said, well, why not? I can't. So anyway, I knocked on Johnny Blood's door with great trepidation because, my God, Johnny Blood, that's if I say Johnny Unitas, my football players won't know who that is either, so I'm trying to think of somebody they identify with, Joe Montana maybe. Anyway, so I was very, you know, this is my hero, my God. And of course I said, well, Johnny, why are you leaving here? He said, I hate to say what he said, we got one of the German monks over here. He's not a German though. But he said, well, these German monks, they're tight as heck. He says, I don't think anybody could really win here. Well, I was single at 26 years old. I figured, well, I'm not gonna stick around here very long, so why worry about that? So anyway, it's been great. And so the point is that if you can't remember Johnny Blood, how are you gonna remember Johnny Gagliardi? My God almighty. So that's how I approach the thing. My legacy, what's his legacy? A forgotten guy, and that's what I'll be in a few years.
Why did you stay, Coach? What made this place special to you?
What's that?
Why did you stay? What made this place special for you?
Well, you know, Carroll was special too. I liked it. Believe me, I liked it. Just grew on me, and probably why I stayed here was by that time I had had family. By the time I had some chances to leave, I had a great family. It was a great place. We lived right on campus. We had one of the few, at that time, one of the few homes that other than the students. And eventually it became, as years went by, we were the only non-student person on the campus. A great place to grow up for the kids, I thought. Yeah. And that's why I really stayed, because I couldn't believe it was such a good place. The place that I was closest to leaving, the time I know I would have left St. John's, was when the University of San Diego offered me that job and brought me out there to look at the campus. The campus was beautiful. St. John's is beautiful too, but that wasn't, they had no ice or snow there.
Yep.
You know, and the weather was perfect. And I thought, my God, what would life be like to always have a perfect day for practice and games, no humid, hot, heat days where I'd have to go hide in the press box to stay alive in the cold, bitter days. And so I thought, that would be a way to end my coaching life. Well, I had 3 married kids by that time, and after thinking it over, Peggy and I thought, well, there's no way we could leave 3 kids. Now, we had one guy, Jimmy, was a high school senior. I don't think he's ever forgiven me for not moving out there so he could surf, you know, so, but we stayed, and I'm glad we stayed. I was able to stay close to my family, and even less than a week ago watch, and I have 3 grandkids on my team to this point, and then just a week ago watch another grandson be a great quarterback in the state playoffs there for Becker. So it's been a great ride. I've got a lot to be thankful for.
Just curious, what year was that San Diego offer?
You know, people ask me that, I don't know. I don't know, I know it wasn't last year. I think it was in the 80s sometime.
85?
What was it?
85?
85.
What's your greatest accomplishment as a coach? What are you most proud of being a coach
Getting
at St.
through
John's?
this conference. Getting through this press conference would be my greatest triumph. No, I guess to answer that without being free. Probably, somebody reminded me that a minute ago. If in fact that I can actually, that I am actually the winningest coach in college football. When I turn on the TV and see all the great stadiums, all the programs, you can flip to 10 different channels, and there's a football game everywhere. And you think, God, I'm a part of this whole, not small part of this whole business, being college football. It's just hard for me to believe, and grateful that I could make a living and raise a family in a game. It's just a game, really, but here we are. I mean, it's hard for me to believe that this many people are interested in a guy that was just a small part of a game. You know, there's a lot of people today retiring, and they don't have this. They've got more important jobs than I have, but doctors who are operating on people and doing great things, and they're retiring, and I don't know if we got people retiring all the time. They have a few cookies up there, and 3 or 4 people show up. We don't have any cookies here, though. I'm sorry.